Our shrubs have arrived.
We have some incredible selections to share with you, some old favorites, some brand new to the market, and we cannot wait to show you what we chose and why.
It's a super exciting day here in our upstate New York Zone 6A garden because our shrubs are here. And not only are we going to plant them around our new pondless waterfall, but we're going to be putting them throughout the garden as well. We're going to walk you through all the different varieties, and like Christopher said, some of them are brand new to the market. You might not have heard of them. Some of them are tried and true. So speaking of tried and true, I want to start with my personal favorite variety of shrubs, hydrangeas.
Of course he's starting with hydrangeas.
I know, come on in here. And I want to start with the one that's showing the most color at the moment. This is Let's Dance Arriba. The Let's Dance series is a really exciting series because they have been bred to have really strong reblooming or remontancy. So even if the buds get nipped by deer or frost, or it's accidentally pruned back, you're still going to get lots of flowers. So this is Let's Dance Arriba, and it grows, let's see, 2 to 3 tall and wide. So it's a nice smaller statue. You want to avoid pruning it as much as possible. But again, if it does accidentally get, cut back or something, it's going to rebloom totally fine. It's hardy down to zone 4, which is really exciting for a big leaf variety. So down to zone 4, up to zone 9, it can take full sun in those lower growing zones. In the higher growing zones, like maybe 7, 8, 9, you want to make sure that it has some afternoon protection from the sun. So this is Let's Dance Arriba. Look at that beautiful color. Again, big leaf variety that's been crossbred with a serrata to improve that bud hardiness. The color will change depending on the pH of your soil. A more acidic soil is going to yield something more purple like this. Something more neutral like our soil is going to yield something on the pinker side. The bud color, or the color of the flowers, is formed as the buds are forming. So this year we'll have purple because that's what it was grown to bloom as. But I bet next year they come back a little more pink. What do you think?
They might, unless I get in there with some acidifier, because this purple color is incredible.
It's really pretty. Or even aluminum sulfate too. All right, closer to you, Christopher. Tough Stuff Aha. Now this isn't necessarily a brand new variety, but it's a newer variety of the Tough Stuff family. A mountain hydrangea, blooms on old wood, has reblooming on new wood. So again, same characteristics as the big leaf. This one also stays pretty small, 2 to 3 tall and wide, hardy down to USDA zone 5. So zones 5 through 9. Full sun, part sun. Again, in the lower growing zones, you're going to want to have that full sun. In the higher growing zones, morning sun, protection in the afternoon. And a lot like the big leaf variety, this will change color depending on soil pH. Pink in a little more alkali neutral soil, more blue tones in a more acidic soil or with aluminum sulfate added to it. Really big, bold flowers on this one. Sticking with the big leaf variety, or ones that can be a little bit more temperamental in our garden, some might say. This is Let's Dance Rhythmic Blues. I wish it had some buds on it so we could show you. Let's Dance Rhythmic Blue gets 3 to 4 tall and wide, so a little bit bigger than these two varieties. When you have a hydrangea in the Proven Winners family that has blue in the name, that means it's easier to turn that variety blue. So this is going to be the type of big leaf hydrangea that if you do add aluminum sulfate and soil acidifier, it's going to be a little bit easier to turn it blue. Again, blooms on old wood, will rebloom, avoid pruning if possible, hardy in USDA zones 5 through 9, and full sun if you can do it. I don't know where we're putting this one, Christopher. The other two I have thoughts on.
Yeah, we know where I think the other ones are going, but this one we haven't made a final decision on.
One more blooming on old wood variety, super foolproof. This is a brand new Oakleaf hydrangea, and this is called Gatsby Glow Ball. And it's called Glow Ball because it stays a little bit smaller than the other Gatsby family members. Gatsby Glow Ball is 3 to 4 tall and wide, so it's a nice, tidy, compact hydrangea. It's hardy in USDA zones 5 through 9. Full sun, part sun, sometimes even part shade. Of all the hydrangea varieties, Oakleaves are the most shade tolerant. That doesn't mean they love it in the shade, but they're the most shade tolerant. This is not going to be a rebloomer. You're going to want to plant it somewhere where you can just leave it alone and not touch it. But what makes Oakleaves really cool is look at the shape of the leaf. And that leaf is going to turn a burgundy purple leathery color in the fall. And the branching or the stems have a really interesting peeling bark texture. This is a great hydrangea for zero maintenance, year-round interest. And this is going right up at the top of the waterfall, I think. What do you think?
I think it's going to be incredible there. I did want to point out that Glow Ball is one of a few of the shrubs that won't be released until next year. We do have the opportunity to trial a few plants that don't come out till next season, which is so exciting, especially because this is a slightly smaller version of the Gatsby Oakleaf hydrangeas.
Yes. Now, foolproof hydrangeas. If everything we've talked about so far about hydrangeas sounds like too much work for you, I get that. And if you want something super duper foolproof, these are the ones you want. So this first one is Pinky Winky Prime. You may have heard of Pinky Winky, big, gorgeous Panicle hydrangea. This is a new, improved version of Pinky Winky. And instead of making the hydrangea smaller like they try to do, you know, proven winners likes to make hydrangeas a bit smaller so they fit easily in the landscape, they went ahead and made Pinky Winky Prime bigger.
It's huge.
This should be brand new at garden centers this year. I have seen it at a local garden center. This is hardy down to USDA zone 3 up to 8. So it's very cold hardy. Gets 6 to 9 feet tall and wide. So really nice and large. Big long panicles that are going to start white and then they're going to age to pink from the bottom up. It's not as sparsely flowered as the original Pinky Winky. It's a little more dense of a mop head style bloom, but big and gorgeous. And this is foolproof. It blooms on new wood. You can cut it back in the spring. It can get eaten by deer. If a storm, it's totally fine. You will get flowers on it. So Pinky Winky Prime is super easy, low maintenance, low care hydrangea. Another one, very low maintenance, brand new to garden centers this year is Powerball hydrangea, another Panicle variety, which means it blooms on new wood. This one is hardy down to zone 3 up to zone 8. It gets about 3 to 6 feet tall and wide. But what makes it different than most Panicle hydrangeas is the shape of the bloom. So most Panicle hydrangeas have a panicle-shaped bloom, meaning it's kind of cone-shaped. This one was bred to have a rounder mop head style bloom. I mean, you can still see that it's a Panicle hydrangea in its structure. It is going to bloom white for you. It'll fade to pink like most Panicle hydrangeas. I'm really excited about this variety because it gives you that Annabelle type look, but with the strength and hardiness stems of the Panicle variety.
Love that.
I know. And speaking of arborescence type, last one.
Last one.
Very new. I think this is for next year, right?
This is for next year.
This is Incrediball Stormproof.
It's pretty cool.
And so what's in the name is it's taken that Incrediball hydrangea that we all know and love, that Proven Winners has, you know, shown us their gorgeous hedges of, that we're growing ourselves in our hydrangea room, and it's improved the stem strength. Stormproof. So as those storms come through and that rain that traditionally would make Annabelle type hydrangeas flop over, this is going to stand up to that. Blooms on new wood, so again, just like Panicle variety, you can't mess it up. You will get flowers no matter what. Even if the deer come through, it's still going to come through and give you flowers. So I'm really excited about that. Let me give you the stats. Hardy down to 3 and up to 8. It gets about 3.5 to 4 feet tall and wide. So not as big as Incrediball. So it'll be a nice step down. I think I know exactly where these are going in the garden. They're not going in the new garden. They're going on the east side somewhere. Full sun. Again, if you're in those higher growing zones, you're going to want to have afternoon shade for all types of these hydrangeas. So these are the new varieties of hydrangeas being added to the garden this season.
You know we couldn't do shrubs without adding roses for me, of course, because he's got all those hydrangeas. I did sneak in 2 varieties of roses. The Flavorette Pear'd is the first one, and this is another one that's new this year. It's part of the same series as Flavorette Honey Apricot, which is planted right behind me and was amazing. This is another rose that has flavor. So not only is it bred for health and so disease resistance and just an overall beautiful plant with these very nice, soft, sort of like shell pink blooms, it also has a little bit of a pear flavor in the petals. I'm kind of excited to taste it.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
That will be interesting.
Put it in salads, maybe infuse your iced tea with it. I don't know. We'll see.
Right. We'll see what we're gonna get paired with. So it's a zone 4 to 8. This is 3 to 4 tall and wide, so on the smaller side compared to Flavorette Honey Apricot, which gets real big. This will be really nice. Again, lots of sun. We're not gonna have to do too much on it. I believe it's relatively self-cleaning. It doesn't get too messy on you, but we'll probably still deadhead it because we wanna keep it nice and tidy. I think this is going in the new bed.
I think it is too. And I saw those at a garden center yesterday, so I know they're available.
They're out, good.
Yep.
That is good. An old favorite in the Oh So Easy series. These are that landscape style rose where you plant them and you forget about them. This is Oh So Easy Lemon Zest. This has got a really nice, cheerful, bright bloom on it. We've done well with the Oh So Easy series. You figure we've already got Oh So Easy Peasy going on. This is only gonna be a 2 to 3 foot tall and wide, hardy in zones 4 through 9. This again will probably be going into the new bed because I love the texture of the rose and Easy Care Rose over on that side. That's exactly what we're looking for. This wonderful specimen here in the
gorgeous.
middle, wonderful plant. Does not come out till next year, so we will tell you all season all the many reasons that we're gonna be probably loading up with more of them next year ourselves. Kodiak Jet Black Diervilla. So this is actually from a native species to us. You've got this incredible, currently burgundy-ish, but darkening by the day. As we've watched it in bright sun, it's just getting darker and darker. It will get a tiny yellow flower on it, but you're certainly not growing this plant for the flower. This is going to be a 3 to 4 tall and wide shrub. We placed this already. Wait till you see how awesome it's going to look. At zone 3 to 8, likes lots of sun. I believe it can take a little bit less sun. Diervillas, I think, can take more of the part sun kind of situation. And in fall, it's going to really richen and give us a little bit of a deeper reddish tone for fall color. Very much looking forward to watching that grow. In this pot down here, we have something that came out, I believe, last year that seems to be well loved everywhere that it's been planted, and that's the El Niño Chitalpa. In our zone, we know that this would probably survive in the ground with a little bit of protection maybe, but it'll probably die back all the way. So we're thinking we're gonna put the El Niño Chitalpa as the centerpiece in a container, especially because the fragrance is supposed to be intoxicating, and it's gonna be right at the top of the steps. This can grow 5 to 8 tall and 4 to 6 wide. In our case, in a container, I don't know what it's gonna do.
I don't know what it's gonna do either, but I'm excited to experiment. I think you can't be afraid to have fun when you're gardening.
No, especially using shrubs in containers, which I think is an underused style of gardening. The shrubs just will add so much structure up there. And it's a zone 6 through 9, so we are 6A, but of course, that's the low end of it, of the growing zones. So I think it should be okay for us. And we're gonna enjoy that fragrance and love those beautiful blooms. I have 2 more. Okay, so the Just Chill Double Mauve Camellia. This is another plant that we are going to be putting in a container. This is a little bit of a frivolity for us. This is a zone 7 through 9. It can grow 5 to 8 feet tall, 3 to 5 wide. Of course, that would be in its ideal growing conditions. We're gonna put it in a large container just to enjoy those really pretty pink flowers with the really bright yellow stamens on the inside. It's an evergreen, I'm not sure what's gonna happen if we put it in a container and then bring it in the garage for the winter.
That's what we're planning on doing.
So I don't know if it stays evergreen in the garage or what it's going to do, but we are going to enjoy this. It's not eucalyptus color, but there's something about this that reminds me almost of eucalyptus.
I'm excited. We've never grown a camellia before.
Yeah, it'll be nice. And camellias are fragrant, I believe.
We'll find out.
We will find out. And then, wait, oh, I don't have a tag for this one. This is Rocksteady. It's another plant that I believe is coming out this year. It's a chaste tree. So this can get very big in the south. Up here, since we're on the lowest end of the growing zone, it will probably die back. You could almost think of this as if catmint and butterfly bush had a baby.
Yeah, I think we're going to treat it like a butterfly bush. It's probably going to die to the ground every year.
Yep, but it does give a really awesome different texture than we currently have. I don't think we'd put it right next to catmint or right next to a butterfly bush because it would kind of blend in, but it'll give us this sort of hybrid effect, even though they're completely unrelated plants.
Another new introduction for next year, for 2026, is this bubbly wine Weigela. Check out the variegated foliage on this one. It's a 3x3 shrub that'll bloom bright pink, hardy in zones 3 through 8. It blooms on old wood, so you're going to want to put it somewhere where you don't have to prune it. I'm really excited about this interesting foliage texture that it's going to bring to the garden wherever we put it. New this year, very cool, speaking of interesting foliage texture, this is Paisley Pup, which is a dog hobble or a leucotho. Is that how you pronounce it?
I think leucotho sounds official.
Hardy in zones 5 through 8. This gets about 3 to 4 tall, 4 to 5 wide. So it'll get a little wider than it does tall. This is actually pretty shade tolerant. Part sun, part shade, 4 to 6 hours of sun. It's also an evergreen. And Christopher, if you come in here, you can see the different textures and variegations on the foliage.
It's really interesting. Right now it's got this orangey feel to it.
Oh, here's a good example of this foliage here.
Some mottled kind of greenish yellow.
I really like kind of like the natural whimsical habit of this. And this, we know exactly where it's going.
And that turns pinkish purple.
It sure does. So in the spring, it's got that like pink variegation. Or in the winter, it's, oh wow. It's a very colorful shrub. All variations throughout the year. Good for borders, low hedges, containers, mass planting. Unfortunately, it has high deer resistance.
Oh, well, that's good.
Hence the deer-proof container.
Even though the place we're putting it probably won't really be reachable unless they're really adventurous.
Exactly. New this year, right, Christopher?
Is it this year? It might be next year.
This is this year, next year, this year.
I think so.
Glow Pop. This is a Japanese holly that has bright yellow golden foliage on new growth. Hardy in zones 5B through 9. That's our old growing zone, 5B. This prefers full sun to part sun. It is an evergreen, and it grows 2 to 3 feet tall and wide. So just like a nice, beautiful, compact, bright, glowing evergreen.
Yeah, kind of like a neon boxwood shape.
Yeah, which is fun. Speaking of evergreens, check out this Montana moss. This is out on the market now. This is a low-growing evergreen that we would grow kind of as a ground cover. It'll spread out. It brings a nice bright blue color. Hardy in zones 4 through 9. Gets about 2 feet tall, 4 feet wide. I really, really like this texture. And you know what? It's not the kind of juniper that hurts to touch.
Which is kind of nice. And also, it is responsive to pruning. And we do have a lot of experience with junipers and pruning them. So that is correct.
Junipers, they do very well in our area, but not to the point where they get overly aggressive. So this is an exciting addition to the garden. We don't really have anything like this in our space. New for next year, this is Spice Cowboy Viburnum.
This is the plant I'm the most excited about of the whole collection.
It is, I don't know anything about it actually. I have to look it up. Hang on. Spice Cowboy Viburnum is full sun to part sun. It gets 10 feet tall, 5 feet wide. So this is a legitimate size viburnum. That's nice. Hardy in zones 4 through 8. Flowers are massive, snowball-like, and have an incredibly intense fragrance. Wow, very interesting.
I'm excited about this because we have another kind of snowball-shaped viburnum, and it's a star of the garden. And this is supposed to be highly fragrant and also get big. So I think you can do these almost multi-stem tree style or just let them be a mega shrub.
And it says, interestingly, please note, to produce berries, you'll need another Carlesii, same species, but a different cultivar, such as Spice Baby or Spice Girl. So something in the spice family.
Yes, I've always wanted a Spice Girl viburnum just because of the name, probably.
Tell me what you want. All right. And then a Pugster Blue Butterfly Bush. This one has been on the market for a while, stays very, very small. Now we've had hit and miss luck with butterfly bushes because we are so moist in our area. We get a lot of rain. We actually get more rain on average annually than Seattle. It's not consistent rain like Seattle, but we do get tons of water in our space. Hardy in zones 5 through 9. Full sun. It's going to get blue panicle blooms on it. It likes it a little bit drier, so we're going to make sure we plant these higher up out of the ground so they're not sitting in water at any point in time. They have this gloss or this matte green-blue foliage that's going to be really interesting. It's a very cool combo, just this grouping right here. I'm excited.
I mean, like the textures, the colors, the evergreen versus not, and the fact that we have really intense purpley blue flowers to come. Like, this is a cool little collection on its own.
It is.
How exciting to see specimens this big. This is actually a group of 4 Arctic Fire Red dogwoods. We have one already in the back corner, and we're actually planning on doing some work on multi-purpose planting. These enjoy wet soil, they can take sun, they can go down to a little shade, so some smart gardening to come. The Arctic Fire Red dogwood, of course, gets those vivid red stems in the wintertime, gets 3 to 5 tall and wide, and it's hardy in 2 through 7. You can freeze these things, and they are perfectly content with it. So I'm looking forward to seeing a whole mass of this in the winter, especially because they're going to be near the white birches. That's going to be gorgeous. And then coming out, is it next year or this year?
Oh my goodness, I don't know. I'm so bad at that. You're the one that's been keeping me on track.
I know, I make notes. Okay, new this year, thank goodness. I like when we get the things that are new this year so everybody can go grab one. This is called the Sergeant Pepper Tatarian Dogwood, which I'm not sure what the Tatarian means, but it's pretty good. This is actually a variegated leaf dogwood. So similar in style, growth habit-wise, to the Arctic Fire, but you have the variegated foliage. It starts out, it's got some white on the margins, then it's going to get a vivid pink on the margins. Ooh. That I think is gonna look really pretty. This one can get 4 to 6 tall and 6 to 8 wide. So this is a bit of a bulky shrub.
I know exactly where that's going.
It's gonna look amazing. And this is hardy in zones 3 through 7. I like that it says the spacing is 6 to 8 feet apart. I mean, how often do you get any plant that says you need to plant it 6 to 8 feet apart? And this will also have the red stems in winter. It'll be interesting to see how red they are in comparison to the Arctic Fire Red. Let me dive back here and pick up this really beautiful soft serve fall cypress. I love the texture of this. It's kind of like all of the things I love about an arborvitae, but in a Christmas tree shape. And that will be so nice where we have 3 of them, and we know exactly where they're going.
And it has a little bluish tinge to it too.
It does. It has just a soft blue, fern-like evergreen that's soft to the touch. Of course, appreciated because some stuff is pokey. 6 to 10 tall, 5 to 6 wide, and zones 4 through 8. Does prefer lots of sun, as evergreens tend to do. So I'm looking forward to this just doing exactly what it's gonna do. I'm excited. And then we have
a Cedar Rapids right behind you, right?
Is this the Cedar Rapids here?
It might be that.
This is a soft serve. And that's the soft serve, and that's the soft serve.
There's one more plant there you haven't touched. That one.
This one. Cedar Rapids. This is a Chamaecyparis, which I just like saying Chamaecyparis, a false cypress. Actually, so is soft serve. The difference with this one is it's gonna get 30 feet tall. So this will be a big plant.
Does it get bigger than a green giant?
From the stats, 30 tall, 12 to 15 wide.
Oh, about the same size then.
About the same size as a green giant, which...
Just for reference, we're talking about those evergreens back there.
So this gives us some options. Yeah. I like starting with a specimen this big because you plant your annuals and perennials around it, and then it's going to start filling in. Then maybe you bump them forward or you let the annuals go. But again, zone 4 to 8, moist, well-drained soil, no pruning needed. It just grows into a really big, huge, giant pyramid.
Awesome.
So excited about that.
Yeah.
And then there are 2 more plants to show. And then we're going to show you where we're putting some of these things. The first one is a bush cherry that comes out next year.
All right, next year.
So it's this big grow bag. Actually, this is called a package. It's a new way that Proven Winners is going to try to be packaging their shrubs so that they can be shipped closer together and also, of course, save on plastics. The plant here, the Easy as Pie bush cherry. Grow all the fruit you need for making pies and jams with Easy as Pie bush cherry. Space-saving sour cherry, no pruning or spraying, and there is a really vibrant fall color on this. Zones 3 to 8, 3 to 4.5 tall and wide. So it's got a little presence to it, and we know where at least one of these is going. I'm excited about that.
Do you know what's funny about that, Christopher?
What?
When I ordered those, I was anticipating putting them in the Pascal urns as part of our potager, and then they showed up and they are enormous. So they're going in the ground.
Okay, that makes sense that they are not going to be going there. I am prepared. I am so prepared. I'm very prepared.
Are you looking up the Taste of Heaven?
I am looking up the Taste of Heaven. The last thing we're going to show you is another Taste of Heaven.
I think there's a tag hanging off of it, no?
Wait. No, there's no tag on this one. Okay. The Taste of Heaven Thornless Blackberry. This is going to get 5 foot tall and 3 feet wide. It has delicious juice in each of the berries, but it is also thornless, weeks long fruit harvest. And this can get about 5 feet tall, 3 feet wide. I think it's kind of exciting that we're going to be adding some ornamental meets food production.
Yeah. Oh, did
plants.
you say the hardiness on the blackberry?
Hardiness on the blackberry is zones 5 through 8.
Okay, perfect.
So this is going to do well for us as we have sort of our potager kitchen garden area. We're thinking of ways where we can add in more food things. So this is going to be really exciting. Let's not place these today, but why don't we show everybody where we're going to put some of these hydrangeas?
Yeah, what we're thinking around the waterfall. All right, come on over here, Christopher. We've been playing around with placement, and you know, whoops, oh, I don't even have that one in my hand. And you know, we like a full, lush garden. And so when we place things, we place them with the anticipation of their full size, but with the impatience of them not being at their full size. So bear with us as we walk through what we're thinking. I know for a fact that this Oakleaf hydrangea is going to go here because this texture next to this texture is like a dream in my mind. I'm loving it. Also, going right here, we want something that needs zero maintenance. So we're not climbing back here, trying to maintain it or prune it or deadhead it. And this is something that's going to flower. And once it blooms, it holds those flowers all season long, and it's not going to drop them into the pond. So that's a great reason to place this here. 3 to 4 tall. So obviously this is going to be a foot down into the ground. So 1, 2, maybe this tall.
Yeah, it's
at max size.
Nice.
This Japanese maple, this is called Ice Dragon. Very easy to prune, very easy to shape. We can absolutely carve out a nook for this hydrangea to grow in. Also, what's cool about it is they're the most shade tolerant of all the hydrangea varieties.
So
Back
as
here-
the ice dragon grows, we won't have to worry about losing flower power.
Yes. Also back here, we are thinking of some of the dog hobble potentially. And then another hydrangea we didn't mention because it's not new to us is Invincibelle Lace. But let's go back to the Arribas over here. Again, we're taking into consideration foliage texture, total opposites, bloom color, totally different color, so things are gonna pop against each other. And we wanna do a nice big drift of all 5 Let's Dance Arribas here. And I think this is gonna work out well for them because this fence is on the west side of our property and all of our wind comes from this direction. So that fence is gonna help protect these big leaf hydrangeas right here.
Gonna be perfect.
And we're gonna plant them pretty snug. They get, 2 to 3 feet tall and wide. We want them to be compact and touching. And that's something where when you're gardening, the closer your plants are together, the less light gets to the ground below them. It helps retain moisture and it prevents weeds. And then the third spot we're thinking for our Tough Stuff Ahas to bring a different bloom texture is this trio right here to soften these rocks. I thought that'd be nice.
Right, and they're a mountain hydrangea, so they'll be next to big rocks and it'll be very at home.
I think I'm really excited to plant these things.
We said this was gonna be one of the showpieces, one of the favorite things of the season. So why not place it right here? This, when it gets to its 3 foot wide or so, is gonna really hug the edges of the rocks, really make this look natural and coming right out of it. But also how striking up against this whole combination of leaf textures. And then we're also gonna be tucking Montana moss, which is this beautiful blue evergreen, right here kind of at the crest of the hill. Again, it's going to really feather its way across the surface here. And I think that's just gonna give a nice bluey sparkle. And then we'll have the green, there's kind of those reddish tones over there, the reddish purple color here, kind of covering all our bases for this amazing new garden design.
Really exciting. I cannot wait to get these plants in the ground, and I'm sure you can't wait to see them be put in the ground. So please make sure you click like and subscribe. Again, I'm Eric.
And I'm Christopher.
And we're Grow For Me Gardening.
Thanks for growing with us.